Continue working on your scene from the last movie, or use the provided scene named cp08water.max. Test render the scene to look at your progress so far. Currently, the water surface relies on the terrain material. You can improve on it quite a bit by creating your own surface and map it with the proper animated material. Maximize the top view and adjust it to see the extents of the terrain. To maximize or minimize a view, use the Alt-W toggle. Using the Line tool, draw a polyline around the water surface, perhaps a few meters inside the land. As the terrain is actually set higher than 0 altitude, you may want to work in wireframe mode, F3 on the keyboard. Go around, and make sure you close the polyline by closing in on your starting point. Right-click to exit line mode and go back to shaded mode using F3 again. At this point, you have a new closed spline but no surface just yet. To turn the spline into a surface you can render, add a poly select modifier to it. Note that you could also add an edit poly modifier, but since you can make adjustments at the spline level, a poly select modifier is enough. Minimize the top view again. Next, you need to move the surface up until it is above the terrain. You may want to zoom in on the front view for any finer adjustments. Ultimately, the water elevation should be a fraction higher than 29 meters. Maximize the perspective view again. You may also want to rename the water surface into river or lake. Next, you create and apply a material to the water surface. Open the Slate Material Editor. There are various ways you can easily define water materials. One way would be based on the Autodesk Material Library under Liquid. There are multiple options to choose from. Try Murky River. Apply the material to the new surface and render the scene. It's better than what you had a few moments ago, but still far from great. You can try other options from the Autodesk library, but ultimately it is best to use the Arc and Design material. Add a Mental Ray Arc and Design material, and then double-click it to see its properties. This is the magic tool you use to generate practically any material you can think of. Generally, you start by basing your material on a template being matte or reflective. Among other options, you'll find one that reads Water Reflective Surface. Go ahead and apply the new material to the water surface and try again. This should yield much better results. This material is fully customizable. You can of course change the watercolor, but more importantly the effects of the waves. The waves are applied as a bump map in the form of an ocean map. Among changes you can apply is making the waves bigger or smaller. The range from smallest to largest at this point ranges from 1 to 20. Set the largest value to 10 to prevent having very large waves. You can also control wave speed, although I think I'll leave this one alone for now. Another important value is the direction angle. A value of 0 makes the animation flow in the plus Y direction. This makes this particular water surface flow upstream. To have it flow downstream, set the value to 180. Render again. You'll be able to see the smaller waves, but in order to see the animation, you'll have to render more frames. You'll do that after you have finalized your scene. The scene is coming along quite nicely. There are still a few fixes to be made. Notice, for example, the gaps you have in the sloped surface of the bridge ends. They do not look too good. In the next movie, you create the necessary geometry to cap these holes and map them with an appropriate material.